In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 10, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Arkansas State versus Ohio State. Arkansas State will try to spring the biggest upset of the season when it travels to number 3 Ohio State on Saturday afternoon. The Red Wolves are coming off a 58-3 win over Grambling State, but they will face a much tougher opponent this week. Ohio State did not play its best football for most of last week's game against then number 5 Notre Dame, but the Buckeyes survived in a 21-10 final. This is a huge letdown spot for Ohio State following the hype and anticipation that led up to last week's game against Notre Dame. The Buckeyes could also be without their star wide receiver, which is probably not being accurately priced into this line against a lower-level team. They did not look like the offense that led the nation in scoring last year, so I am not ready to back them as 44.5-point favorites. Jones has always been an excellent recruiter during his coaching career, and he used the transfer portal to bolster Arkansas State's roster this offseason. The Ohio State Buckeyes are obviously the better team here from top to bottom and could cruise by a comfortable margin. However, there's a bit of a letdown factor after that win over Notre Dame, and it's not like the Buckeyes played great. Also, the Arkansas State Red Wolves are more experienced than they were a season ago, and you shouldn't expect the same team that piled up 10 losses. This is a lot of points to give an Arkansas State team that will be looking forward to this match more than its opponent. The Red Wolves have several Power 5 players on their offense, and I expect them to keep this game well within the number, so Arkansas to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Arkansas State is not going to be able to match Ohio State blow for blow offensively, so I expect Jones to use the play clock to his advantage when the Red Wolves have the ball. They have gone under the total in 7 of their last 8 games dating back to last season. They are used to playing lower scoring games than expected. Ohio State is replacing several key pieces of its offense from last year, and it showed last week. The Buckeyes could also be without their star wide receiver in Week 2. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Southern Miss versus Miami, Florida. The Miami Hurricanes are 24.5-point favorites against the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles for a game that is slated to take place Saturday. Miami comes in off a blowout win over Bethune-Cookman, while Southern Miss lost a tough 4-overtime game to Liberty. Southern Miss is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall and 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 road games, while the over is 4-1 in their last 5 games overall. Miami is 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games overall and 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 home games. Southern Miss's defense struggled most of last year, and they weren't bad in Week 1 against a weaker Liberty team. The Southern Miss offense also was inconsistent last week against Liberty defense that obviously isn't close to the level of what they will see Saturday against the Canes. Miami is rested at home, and they are coming off a very easy Week 1 victory. Southern Miss lost a very tough Week 1 game in 4 overtimes to a smaller program in Liberty. It won't be easy for the Golden Eagles to rebound off a tough long game, and teams coming off of overtime games have historically struggled the next week. I get why some folks may want to show Southern Miss some love after a respectable showing against Liberty when there really wasn't much of an expectation from Southern Miss from the word go. That being said, while it was against Bethune-Cookman, the Hurricanes looked awesome from the opening kick, and this could be a Miami team to be in the conversation as the top team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I'm not crowning them after one game, but I liked what I saw enough against Bethune-Cookman to think that Miami can rout another subpar opponent here in Southern Miss. Miami should roll here, so Miami to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Southern Miss runs a run-heavy read option offense, but Miami should be able to build a significant lead in this game and force the Golden Eagles to throw the ball. The Southern Miss defense couldn't stop the run against Liberty last week, and they won't likely fare any better against the Canes in Week 2. Miami should be able to easily put up 35 to 45 points and force the Golden Eagles out of their comfort zone as well. Cristobal just took over as head coach of Miami, and he will also want some statement wins to win over the fan base and alumni. The Canes should stay aggressive effective even if they build a big early lead. Miami scored 48 last week against Bethune-Cookman, and the Southern Miss defense is not impressive. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. North Carolina versus Georgia State. The North Carolina Tar Heels have raced out to a 2-0 record thus far in the young 2022 college football season. The Tar Heels will try to make it 3-0 when they travel south to take on the Georgia State Panthers. The Panthers, who play in the Sun Belt Conference, are 0-1 on the season. These two teams met last season when UNC rolled to a 59-17 win at Chapel Hill as a 26-point favorite. This year, the Heels are only a 7.5-point favorite. The North Carolina Tar Heels have scored 119 combined points in 2 games this season. In those 2 games, they're also 2-0, but it hasn't come easy, especially in the second game. The Tar Heels played Appalachian State on the road and ended up winning 63-61. In their previous game against Florida Agriculture and Mechanical, the Tar Heels scored 56 points but allowed 24 to FAMU. The defense has struggled in coverage and hasn't looked any better at tackling. Still, the pass rush has been effective. Meanwhile, Georgia State took a deflating loss to South Carolina 35-14 last week. The pass protection broke down almost every passing play. Quarterback Darren Granger went 7 for 29 for 111 yards. He also tallied 1 touchdown but had an interception in the game. Although North Carolina's defense has looked dreadful, it's unlikely that this Georgia State offense can do much damage. On the other hand, Georgia State's defense also struggled to tackle, and the pass rush was ineffective. Therefore, the Tar Heels should have a field day offensively for the 3rd straight week with Drake May under center. May has 9 touchdowns and no interceptions through 2 games. He's the real deal for North Carolina. So North Carolina to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Neither defense has been doing well at all in the early stages of the season, as the Tar Heels are giving up 42.5 points per game while the Panthers are allowing 35 points per game. Both teams also run the ball extremely well, so that means they can get chunk plays to continuously move the chains, as UNC is averaging 264.5 rushing yards per game while Georgia State ran for 200 yards in the opening game of the season. North Carolina has only played mid-major teams thus far, but the offense has displayed a ridiculous amount of firepower in its 2 games thus far. The Tar Heels average 59.5 points per game, which is 6th in the country. Given the fact that North Carolina dropped 59 points on the Panthers last season, I don't see Georgia State doing much to slow them down. UNC will be in a lot of over games this season because their defense has looked very weak so far, so they will need the offense to crank out the points to win most weeks. The over has hit in each of the last 4 Tar Heels games, as well as in 8 of the previous 10 Panthers games following a straight-up loss. The total is set pretty high here, but I don't think it's high enough. This one should have no trouble going past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.